Mecynorrhina torquata ugandensis is a famous beetle in the breeding scene, especially since there came out some blue variations of the beetle, and this is really spectacular. If you see a beetle live, they look a little bit different than if they are dried. Like here, if you look at the dried specimens, you will see that the colors, these spectacular blue colors, they fade somehow and they change a little bit to a black. This is a female here, and that is a male of the blue variations of torquata ugandensis. Sometimes you can feel a little bit that it could be a blue one if you look at it like this in that light. But the colors, if you want to have them really fascinating deep blue, then you must kill the animal as soon as it comes out of the pupal chamber, so that it's quite clean and blue and hasn't changed the colors. So, but who wants to do that, because it's such a beautiful and nice beetle, and who wants to kill him anyway? So let's talk about the living Mecynorrhina torquata ugandensis. I was also asked whether I could present a little breeding report here. That is really not complicated, because the only thing that you need for the breeding process of torquata ugandensis is a box with substrate that consists 50% of flake soil. It's the fine earth-like material in between the leaves here, flake soil. It's made with beech sawdust and fermented together with bran. Around 6 months you let the mixture of the sawdust and the bran sit outside in a bag where there is air exchange, and afterwards you can mix it again, and then you have to add 50% of rotten leaves. And the rotten leaves, that is really something that you should look for in the forest very carefully. Rotten leaves is not the fresh leaves that fall down from the deciduous trees. Rotten leaves is already partly decomposed by mushrooms, so you should collect this material not in the fall when the leaves come down, but shortly before the new leaves come down the trees. You should be there and collect the old material on the ground. That's in my place here in Switzerland around November or October. I have an eye on the development of the trees, and as soon as I see that the leaves start falling down, I'm in the forest collecting my rotten leaves. That's all. 50% flake soil, 50% leaves. That is the material for Mecynorrhina torquata, also for immaculicollis or polyphemus, for most of the rose chavas. So it's easy if you prepare it before you start your breeding process, because if you start collecting when you get your first larvae, that's mostly too late. It's better to be prepared and have everything ready for the breeding process. Like me at the moment, here I have 5 big boxes, 5-liter boxes of the substrate. I don't know yet whether there is a larvae here, but I'm prepared. If there are, I can put it in there, and then we can start breeding. So the box that I want to check today, it was a pair of Mecynorrhina torquata in this box from the 11th of May, and that's 2 months ago. If we look at the surface, we will see that there are parts of the beetles scattered on the surface. Here's one part of the female. I think here's the other part of the female. Yes. And then we have probably here a part of the male. Yes. And this is another part of the male. So yeah. So you see this now, it looks green, the color of these torquatas. They look green, but in fact before I put them, when I put them in the box, they were completely blue. So now they look more like immaculicollis and not like torquata ugandensis, the blue form. But let's see what larvae come out from these and what animals emerge from the pupas of this larvae that we can get here. So the surface is also scattered, of course, with the remains of the bark pieces here that I always place on top of the box. The animals, the beetles, they only live about 2 months. So now we have a look whether we see some larvae here. Oh yeah, look, here's already a big one. But yes, big one. It's a young L3 or an L2. No, it's an L2. But this is already around 6 centimeters long. Looks great. Let's have a look through the substrate. It seems that they are a little bit more down in the box here. They are also, if you look at the box very carefully, you can see that there are some holes in there, so where they hide on the bottom of the box. So let's look. Oh yes, here. This is an L3. Now you see it compared with the L2. This is now the L3 larvae. This is another L2. So then here you can see the size of the larvae. But the L3 is at the moment is small. It's not the big one. Then I have my substrate ready to put them. I put the L3 larvae. Here you can see the head capsule of the L3. I put it in the substrate, cover it a little bit. I put the second one in here. So I have 2 in one box. Of course I have to keep my bookkeeping right afterwards, so here's nothing. But I think there something is moving underneath the substrate here. Yeah, here's another one. Here's a young one. This is a very small one. This is an L1. Now you have all 3 together. This is L1, L2 and the L3 here. That's very nice. So, the L2 is really big here. The L3 is not so big. But you see there's a difference in the size of all of these 3 larvae. So now let's go for the rest of the substrate. There are not a lot of larvae in here. I don't know why, but normally you will find around, if the pair is okay and everything went right, there should be a lot more larvae in here. But it's nice to see that we have now one more. I think we put all 3 together in this box. Also the small one, the L1, is now here in this box. So we have 2 boxes with 5 larvae of Mecynorrhina torquata ugandensis. And what do I do with the rest of the material? I put it back and I check it again in 1 month. Could be that I didn't see an egg, or probably also that I missed a larvae. That would be bad if I already start going on with that material, breeding some other species. It will end up that I make here, look, see, there's another one that I didn't see before. Also an L1, a small one. Could be there are some others here. So it's good to put the material back and to write a label on it, check in 1 month, that would be 1st of August around. Then every egg should have hatched, and then the larvae should be big enough that you see them when you search through the substrate. So that's for Mecynorrhina torquata to start a breeding in captivity. If you are lucky with 7 individuals, you can have a good chance, around 99%, that there is a male and a female. So you can start a good breeding process with around 7 to 8 larvae. That's what I do too. If I have to start with larvae, I choose around 10, so that you have a good chance that there is a male and a female, so that you don't end up with only 3 males or 3 females. So if you want to check the process, go to the next video. I will do that in around 2 months, and then we see what happened to this 6 larvae that we have now. Bye.